Over the last year, we've gathered over 1,000 different integrations, and we found which integrations, so that's sponsored videos, an influencer promoting a brand's products, which of these have performed the best. Now, if you're an influencer marketer, marketing manager, anyone that is contacting influencers to run campaigns, and you want to learn how you can brief influencers better so they follow instructions, they don't make crazy videos, and they make videos that are instead top performers. Well, I'm going to walk you through one video that was an absolute top performer. We've got the scorecard over here. I'm going to walk you through what this creator did, how he was briefed. I'm going to do this all by going through the transcript and a checklist. So let's dive into it. This is the video. We have this database here, which actually shows the exact timing, the transcript, the video, and everything. But for this purpose, we're just going to head on over to the transcript over here. Let's close this. So in the beginning, he starts by stating can have seriously long-lasting effects on your health. And the reason he says this is it establishes a long-term consequence. Okay. So right before this, he mentioned heavy metals can have seriously long-lasting effects on your health. Okay. Most people are only focused on the short term, very important, which in this case, they're selling a fish system, a fish water filtering system by Water Drop. And also this could be water filtering for regular drinking water. But their main part here is to make sure that people understand this is not short-term, it's long-term, okay? Now, when you integrate this sponsorship, don't have the influencer say this video is sponsored by this. Instead, reframe it, and that's why I reached out to company name to partner with them because they're simply the best. This is still allowed. This is still fully legal. This allows you to do this, to do the partnership ad disclosure. However, this tends to build more trust. Okay. Then from here, it's just a value stack. They offer very sleek products that do a good job. Then you bring this exact SKU that's being promoted. Make sure your creator says this clearly. So you can see in the checklist when we give it to the creators that this part is just, it's very clear. Like one sentence should just be the product name. This is insert product name. Then what it does. Okay. Now, a big problem that we've noticed when people give creative briefs to influencers, they don't actually tell them what are the most common objections that customers encounter. And effectively, this will allow them to mention these objections that most viewers are already thinking about. And that could be the reason that a lot of viewers don't buy. Okay. So make sure that objections are handled and make sure that you always seed products to influencers, have them use it beforehand. This is what's allowed us to create campaigns that are just top performers. I'll actually show you the dashboard that we have. Here, by the way, is the dashboard. I do have permission to show one campaign from here. We've run over 70 campaigns for a bunch of different companies. Believe It Up product launch. This was a company that wanted a bunch of micro influencers. So we found them, we integrated it. In total, we got around 1 million views because we made sure that each creative was very unique. And we were actually able to get over $102,000 in sales. So 2% conversion rate on their actual landing page. And then from view to click, so from view to person on the landing page, it was 7%. So some really good stats. And that just shows what happens when your creators are well briefed. And also you want to make sure you're finding creators really well. Okay. So if you ever want to hire us, this is an internal dashboard. We don't give this publicly, but we have a bunch of stats that actually shows you what are the best influencers to hire. So back to the reviewing the transcript. So here we've got from here, they're just adding in a couple of additional value stacks, things like it's moving fast, it uses less water, so comparison to competitors, and even just an extra bonus, like they even have an RODI filter. So now, just a little bit of emotional connection, because you should have this in each creator brief. And if my fish deserve it, so do I. So he's saying here that the filter is really good for the fish, and that means I could also drink from it. So this is just the main message that the company wants to communicate. This is a very big focus in the creative brief, and this builds that emotional connection. And just make sure you finish it by saying thank you to the sponsor, because that makes it sound, well, not only makes it sound, but it's true that the creator is getting benefit from your product, right, at the end of the day, and that's why the viewer will also get benefit. So heading on over to the checklist over here, I've compiled all of this into a checklist. Effectively, whenever you send the creator brief with your goal and your value propositions, add this checklist to the bottom, okay? Keep it really simple. We like to keep our creative briefs under a page because the simpler it is, the more likely it is that the creator will follow these simple instructions given, okay? So ensure that You're making the problem clear. You've got the value proposition. You're connecting it to the viewer's needs and you're building connection. You've got a good CTA and then you have clear sponsorship disclosure beginning and at the end. If you're able to apply these principles, you're going to notice creators are able to consistently follow your instructions. They're going to be making much better creatives that later when they post on their channel, when you use an ads, it's just going to perform so much better. Now, of course, none of this will matter if you don't know how to find creators, which is why I discuss in this video over here what you can do to make sure that you find the most relevant creators to your target audience.